day, ladies and gentlecolts. Penny Wrights here to talk about one of my favorite characters of the show. Okay, pony character. Regular main character pony. Oh, sweet Celestial, would you just... It's too early in the video to be this upset with you. Anyway, the main character I want to talk about is our resident girly girl fashionista Rarity. Throughout the show, I always see the changes in favorite main six character. All it takes is one episode and they officially become best pony. And the factors can differentiate with a lot of people. It can be based on their favorite episode, favorite moments, or relatability. I'll break down my own personal criteria for favorite character, and don't get me wrong, it's not a video to explain why Rarity is the greatest. It's just to show how I pick a favorite, and whether you use the same criteria is completely up to you. Let's start with my favorite criteria. Life growth. How I describe life growth is how the character changes and develops their goals throughout the show. It helps when there's something the character wants or strives for that keeps me watching, since the rest of the main six had their own lives before Twilight. For characters like Pinkie Pie and Applejack, there's not much growth or change from them. They started out as a party and farm pony, and that's what they stayed as. Maybe Pinkie gets a little bit more development when she has her own version of a midlife crisis in The Last Laugh, but we didn't even get that much focus on it in that episode. Rainbow Dash wanted to be a Wonderbolt since literally episode 1, and achieved that goal in season 6 with Newbie Dash, and we got to see a lot of lead up to it. Rainbow Dash interacting with the Wonderbolts, being in the Academy, competing against them in the Equestria Games trial, and finally becoming a full-fledged Wonderbolt. However, her path kind of just stops there. Yes, she achieved her dream, but episodes past that is mostly relatable for people who have been in some form of team or larger group, specifically army or military, like hazing, nicknames, and other competitors in your field. If you're a military brony, this is probably up your alley, just not for me personally. Twilight's growth wasn't really as predictable as everyone else's. Her growth changed over time from studying under Celestia to learning how to be a princess, to being a school administrative, to being ruler of all Equestria. Who calls that after one season? Fluttershy has more emotional growth than life growth. She's someone who's comfortable with where she is in life, and have her taking care of animals in a sanctuary she designed herself, instead of being an undescribed hippie living in the forest with animals. I mean, we have that character anyways.
Radical to meet you. Really digging your vibe.
But with Rarity, it goes beyond the first goal she started out with. Her main goal was having a boutique in Canterlot, and worked her way up from getting famous clients to showing off her work, all the way to getting her Canterlot boutique in season 5. But it didn't just stop at her running the business. She worked to getting clients in Manhattan, making a shop there as well, even being so well off that she got her associates to help with a fashion competition just to have them showcase their designs in her own shop. Maybe it's just her occupation since the fashion industry is always changing, but she never really seems to slow down. I can't help but love a generous person like that who's not only doing well for herself in her own career, but also wants to help others in the same field just because she loves fashion that much. Next segment, expression. This segment also varies among different characters. It's basically who I enjoy watching when they're on screen. A character who's happy or content isn't always as interesting. But when a character is angry,
Who breaks a pinky promise?
sad, frustrated,
Stop yourself about.
or just plain freaking out,
Hi, girls.
it's where you see the most out of them. Pinkie Pie's mental breakdown in Party of One, or Twilight's entire episode in Lesson 0, all are great and wonderful to watch depending on your preference. But for Rarity, she has so many great ones, it's hard to pick one. their swarm of the century, it isn't the main thing about you,
Tricky! I know! I don't care! Make with the tricks!
and literally trying to square up against dragons in Dragon Quest.
Fighting's not really my thing. I'm more into fashion. But I'll rip you to pieces if you touch one scale on his cute little head!
Her reactions are amazing and hilarious, down to the great vocals from Tabitha St. Germain. Twilight is a close second, but when they gave her a coping mechanism for her stress, most of her good faces and freakouts went away with it. Oh, except for this one.
Wait! Pudding!
This one never gets old. Final segment comes down to strength. And this one doesn't really have to do with physical strength, but how a character learns their lessons and goes with it. With Twilight, she maintained her inner strength depending on the plot. And after season 1 of the show, her strength came from her friends mostly. Every character has displayed their own way of inner strength, but the one that stuck out to me the most was from Canterlot Boutique, where Rarity would rather give up her dream boutique in Canterlot than conform to doing one dress design to the point of having them factory made. Rainbow Dash did something similar to this in Wonderbolt Academy, where she would rather give up her dream of being a Wonderbolt than lose her integrity as a flyer. The difference being that when Rainbow Dash left Spitfire's office, there was a look of regret and sadness. With Rarity, she remained stern and kept her head up, not even batting an eye for Sassy Saddles and her crying. Canterlot Boutique is probably one of my favorite moments of Rarity, and I'll have more to talk about it in another video, but this inner strength that came from knowing what she wanted to do and who she wanted to be in life makes her an amazing role model. I'll admit it, from the beginning, she wasn't one of my favorite characters. Not even top 3. I know, it's true. I didn't like her using her good looks and charm to win ponies, specifically stallions, over. It made her too high maintenance and kinda stuck up. And I admit to agreeing more with Applejack than Rarity during the sleepover and look before you sleep. I saw a big picture more than noticing small details. But that doesn't mean Rarity is as narrow minded as I thought before. She's a designer. She's always keen on details, no matter how small. And I realize I can be that nitpicky about details as well. And the thing about using her looks to get what she wants, it's not really as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Sure, in hindsight, it's shallow, but it's not just her look she's using. It all comes from confidence. Rarity is someone who wants to make people feel good about themselves, even in her outfits. She wants to pick the right thing for a pony that makes them feel special and fabulous. And even if they're not wearing her outfits or not looking or feeling their best, a compliment can go a long way, and just the right compliment or words can change someone's mood. That's pretty much what Rarity does. In Made in Manhattan, she's going around being nice to people even when they look like a grumpy cat. And for someone who's in the fashion industry, appearance and how you carry yourself is very important. Image is everything, especially when it comes to Canterlot ponies. Yeah, well, Rarity doesn't fall under those lines, Puddinghead. Rarity is a kind, generous, and beautiful soul who radiates confidence in a lot of ways. Maybe I didn't like her at first for how shallow she can be, but I guess I can see it as me not having that kind of confidence in myself and wanting to be a little bit like her. There's plenty we can learn from her, even when she's being a drama queen. Mostly because those moments are just plain funny. And for one of those only characters to show an interest in romance, gee, how did that get in there? In the end, she's married only to her career. Her heart has enough love that she only needs her creativity for fashion to be more than enough. And that makes Rarity one hell of a strong, independent woman. I'm Penny Wrights, and it looks like I have some online clothes shopping to do.